Hi, let's talk more about the effortless black girl aesthetic. In this video, we are going to go through popular ways that black girls wear their hair, so natural, straightened. I'll touch a little bit on braids, and I'll show you what I mean by taking an effortless approach as opposed to a more try-hard approach that is popularized for black girls in the media and in culture in general. This is my first video where I'm actually diving deeper into this idea. So I want to start by saying that the effortless black girl aesthetic is about confidence in simplicity. That's what it's about. Confidence in simplicity. It's about not needing to be a baddie, as we would say, in order to be beautiful, and making sure that we are showing up in the world in that way and being represented that way as well in all of these spaces where we see other people being celebrated for their simplicity. The whole purpose behind living out this effortless black girl aesthetic is minimizing the time that it takes us to get ready and to be ourselves in order to maximize the amount of time and effort that we put into living life and experiencing things outside of how we sort of like adorn ourselves. For us as black girls, those two things are often so connected. How many times have we decided whether we can do something based on the way that we're wearing our hair? How many times can I work out in a week based on my hair? How many times can I go swimming this summer based on my hair? Can I do it at all based on my hair? The purpose is to be comfortable at night, not have to go to bed and be, I don't know, straining ourselves because of how we need to prepare our hair for it to look perfect the next day. In my last video, as soon as I said the word Parisian women and I started talking about how Parisian women have this effortless aesthetic, people were saying that I'm talking about a European standard. I'm talking about whiteness. And I thought that that was so funny because when I said that, I was genuinely talking about Parisian women as a collective whole, the black women included in Paris that I saw were so effortless and they carried the same type of vibe. People leaving that comment only further proved my point that when we think of effortless, we don't think of us. We don't think of black women, black girls. When it comes to our hair, the effortless aesthetic is also somewhat about the relationship between how we're wearing our hair and how we're doing our makeup, because those things are often connected as black girls. When we simplify one, we feel like we have to overdo the other, but no, not here. Not when we're doing this. It does not have to be that way. We can be effortless and simple with both and still have, again, that confidence in simplicity. I'm going to be breaking down this aesthetic between natural hair as well as people who wear their hair straight. But before I do that, I want to quickly touch on hair color because it's universal to both styles. The effortless black girl aesthetic involves realistic hair colors, not something that's going to be intensely red or intensely pink or blue or green or purple. Naturally occurring colors for people with highlights and lowlights that give it a little bit of a boost. If you don't want to just strictly wear your natural hair color, then it's about naturally occurring colors, browns, blondes, things like that. When you are in the flow of the effortless black girl aesthetic, it's about striving for things that are, it doesn't have to be plain and just one color, but things that are easier to maintain. And this is a good time for the disclaimer that everything I'm saying is optional. Do whatever you want. Like, I'm not here to put you in a box. I'm just here to talk about one sort of maybe shared attitude among some of us and how to achieve it if it's something that you find it difficult to achieve. So let's start with black girls wearing their hair straight, and then I'm really excited to talk about natural hair. So straight hair is probably the easier one to picture when it comes to being effortless and easy and breezy, like I was saying in my first video, because straight hair is by nature very relaxed. No pun intended, but it's kind of a funny coincidence, right? That like relaxers are about straight hair. Effortless black girl hair worn straight can be blown out and optionally straightened as well, but it does not need to be polished and it does not need to have the same texture throughout. So even if it is blow dried, even if it is straightened, it doesn't mean that the roots and the mid lengths and the ends all need to be perfectly straight and in line and the same exact texture. We embrace a little bit of that inconsistency in the strand. So this bob with the ear tuck is a really popular look for us, and I love it. And it does look pretty effortless, right? But it's still very put together, and often we still sort of feel the need to add a lot of makeup to embellish the look in some sort of way, and do more when it comes to that. Again, a really nice look. I'm not saying it takes a ton of effort, but with the more effortless black girl aesthetic hair, for those with shorter to medium length, I love when I see something more like this, embracing that bit of frizz and texture so that when it gets humid, we're not running for cover or feeling like we need to cover it up or something like that. We don't need to maintain the polished, perfect, medium or short length hair. We can still be feminine if we want, but this untamed vibe sort of screams confidence, and it screams you can do whatever you want today and your hair is not going to prevent you from doing it. So I love these blown out looks where you just kind of throw it up in a clip or something like that. The curls are not perfect throughout. If she were to let this down, it might not actually be perfect looking. The curls are not all going to be uniform from the roots to the ends, but she looks so effortless. She looks like she can do whatever she wants today and not have to worry about her hair whatsoever. When I look at these girls, I feel like I'm seeing them. Whereas with the more polished haircuts, I think, oh my God, your hair looks so good. With these, I think, oh my God, you look so good. We can say that straightening a black girl's hair means that she's wanting to look European, but that's not what I see. I see someone doing what they choose and being so comfortable in how they look. There are a lot of people who are European who would think that this looks messy, who would think that, oh my God, girl, you gotta go and do your hair. But that's how I know it's not about being European. Now I'm actually gonna show you some of my own photos of how I wear my hair straight and effortlessly. This is one. I love wearing it in an unpolished braid, edges not laid down, throwback, kind of lazily done. I'll also wear it wavy with some sort of hair clip, but very just loose and imperfect with the flyaways going absolutely everywhere. I love that look and it's really easy to achieve. This one is funny because it was a matter of convenience. My hair was tangly, it needed to be washed. I had 2 clips with me and I said, cool, there we go. I'm just throwing it up. It's about that spontaneity of doing your hair where it doesn't have to be well thought out. When you have the confidence and the rest of you is polished and groomed, then you don't have to think so hard about your hair being a certain way. This is a no fuss ponytail. Again, very loose. My hair was wavy because I had put it in some braids, and it's very unbothered. I used a headband as a hair tie instead of a regular hair tie because it's what I had with me. It was the first thing I saw. And still some more braids. I love these pigtails. Flyaways, untamed, but still so cute. And I feel really confident when I wear my hair like this. I forgot to include this one earlier, but I love this blown out, kind of curly, kind of not, whatever look. I think what's interesting about effortless black girl hair when it's worn straight is that you kind of get the best styles from living your life however you want. Oftentimes my hair ends up looking cool and effortless because I'm just throwing it up however I want, and then I'm forgetting to tie it down at night and accidentally wearing it in a braid and then taking it out the next day. It's about hair being done so that I have a better life, not life being done so that I have better hair. So now we'll move on to natural hair. This is probably the more interesting of the two. Effortless black girl hair, worn natural, is characterized by nicely shaped natural hair worn loosely without the need for loads of definition. Natural edges or softly laid edges that are not sculpted and shaped and perfect. So I'm going to do this by starting with short natural hair and then moving into longer hair. So this is what we see a lot with short natural hair, and it's beautiful. The defined curls with the shaped edges, lots of makeup, frankly, applied with statement earrings and jewelry to sort of give the look some glamour. And this is one way to do it, and it's cool, and I love that we achieve this look. But another way to do it, if we were to keep the definition but scale back the look as a whole, bringing it into that more effortless territory, we get something more like this. There's still definition, which doesn't take a ton of effort at this length, which is why I'm okay with it. but her edges are more natural than sculpted. It's just a tiny bit of sculpting, and her face pops because the makeup isn't so thick and heavy. She can walk in the rain like everyone else because she doesn't have much to lose. She doesn't have a full beat of makeup, and the look is so pared back that she can kind of live however she wants, and it's not going to disrupt the look that she's going for. Here's another great example with even shorter natural hair. The definition is very loose, and her jewelry is kept so simple. And even though to me it looks like she's wearing quite a bit of makeup, it's still her natural beauty that's coming through. I don't think, wow, look at that sculpted, those sculpted edges or those perfectly defined curls. I just think, you look amazing today. And my personal favorite, which I think honestly represents it the best out of all of these, is this photo here. Very short natural hair. She just looks so confident and at ease and so relaxed, and everything is understated and simple. She could be wearing makeup here. She could also not be wearing makeup. This is something so amazing to strive for, whether your hair is really short or maybe slightly longer than this, and you do have your hair is long enough to actually form a pattern. This look, to me, really describes it. And even though her earring is more of a statement type of earring, I think that honestly, like, I'm putting my finger over the earring. If she were to not be wearing that earring, it would look just the same, just as effortless and beautiful. I'm obsessed with this. Moving into longer natural hair, she really embodies this. Okay, so this is probably a twist out. She's got minimal jewelry. What stands out is her skin and her face. I see her, and not anything particular about how she's dressed herself up. Her makeup is very natural. She might not have any makeup at all, and the maintenance on this is going to be very moderate. She's not gonna have to put a ton of effort into looking like this every day. Here is one with an updo. The edges are natural or perhaps just brushed down with some moisturizer. It's up, but it's loose. It's loose. We can wear our hair up and loose and not have to slick it back all the time. She doesn't try to sort of fabricate loads of shine or definition here, and it's paired with very natural looking makeup. However, this might fall apart because of the day's activities. It's not going to take away from her look. She doesn't need to do anything to maintain this effortless look, really. I love the comparison of these two images. It's really interesting because it's basically the same exact style. One is done effortlessly and the other one is tighter. And for some of us, this slicked back one would be really uncomfortable. I could never go an entire day with my hair like this. So we can continue to consider how this small difference might make a big impact on how we feel throughout the day and how that might stop us or propel us in doing certain things that we want to do. The one who's wearing it more loosely, to me, has a lot more freedom in the day. I even think if you were going to work out and you wore your hair in the slicked back version of this, there might be, when you're on the bench and whatever you're laying on, it might be kind of uncomfortable. Whereas the one who's wearing it loosely could just take it off for a second, but it actually wouldn't even be uncomfortable. Like, it would just press nicely against however she's laying back on something. Here's another great example with some longer natural hair. This is the look that I saw become really popular when natural hair was first sort of like booming and becoming more mainstream, really. Defined curls, full beat of makeup, big earrings, versus this, which is simplified but so confident. Her eyebrows are still done, she's got a lip on, maybe even some foundation or whatever, but simplified and so beautiful still. Here's another one that I'm obsessed with. She just looks so at ease and so comfortable, so easy and breezy. I love that the natural two-tone of her lips is coming through. No matter what she does today, her look isn't going to change drastically. She can be comfortable whether it's raining and she gets caught in it, or if she wants to go out and work out, she's still gonna look like this after the workout. And I think that that's amazing. And lastly, getting into just much longer natural hair and looser hairstyles. I love this approach that she's taking. She looks so comfortable. It might be a wash and go that she stretched out a bit to make it easier to manage, or maybe even a braid out of some sort, but whatever. Wearing it like this with the understated makeup, it all just looks so good, so effortless, so easy. Throwing it back when you have enough length to do so. I love seeing images of Black girls on bikes and in cities doing these sorts of things. We don't see this enough. So many of us already live like this, but some of us do need the reminder that this is who we are. We get to enjoy the world without having to think about our hair all the time. Sometimes our best layer of beauty is hidden under our attempts to be glamorous when we don't actually need to be. And lastly, a quick mention of braids. And I'm only gonna quickly talk about them. Perhaps I can make another video on effortless Black girls' hair when we are wearing extensions like wigs and weave. This one's focused on, you know, anyone who's just wearing their hair like I do, like just wearing your hair. But I can do one for people who are wearing extensions, wigs, and weave, and how to achieve that same effortless look, and giving some recommendations for that. So let me know if you would be interested. But anyway, this is our popular braids look. Very sculpted, paired with elaborate makeup. I love this look. I've done it many times myself, but if we were to scale it back, it can look so beautiful still, embracing the edges, just being more natural and minimal on the makeup. You know, this girl is wearing the sculpted edges and kind of has the contour highlight going on, but the hairstyle is a nice example of something simple and easy that won't fall apart because she's living her life. I think about sometimes how we're represented even in movies. There was this movie with Lauren London, and she was in an interracial relationship, and I just remember her hairstyles all being very sculpted and laid and everything like that. And there was a point being made in the movie about her being Black and about the person she's dating being of a different race, right? And I loved it. You know, I think it's amazing that she was still herself and didn't conform. But the fact that if she wore her hair to look more natural like this, it would be this idea that she is conforming, bothers me. You know, like, we should be able to be natural and understated without the association automatically being that we are conforming. Do you see what I'm saying by that? Okay, this video series will eventually be in a playlist because I'm going to continue talking about this. Let me know if this is interesting at all to you. We still have to cover the effortless Black girl aesthetic as it relates to style, makeup, attitudes. I want to build on this a lot more. People might say that in these photos, I've just chosen naturally pretty Black girls and that's why they can be so effortless and blah, 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 but no. This is about a path to finding your version of simplicity, and these images are examples of ways that Black girls are already doing that. Because at the end of the day, the Black girls who are doing the most are naturally pretty too. It has absolutely nothing to do with that and everything to do with us being able to embrace our simplicity and call it what it is: stunning, beautiful, and something that makes life a lot easier for us. There are other aesthetics that I would love to create and talk about for Black girls, like the quirky city girl, the nerdy chic for Black girls. It just excites me because I'm tired of us being represented in only one way. I'm tired of us needing to fit a certain archetype, and sometimes we ourselves take that on, and it's not right. Like, it just should not be that way. I'm a creative director, so I love all kinds of aesthetics. And what's great about aesthetics is that you can dip in and out of them as you wish. They're not about being placed in a box. It's just one way for us to express ourselves. And the moment that you feel like dyeing your hair blue and sculpting your edges and wearing a full beat every day, you should do that. But if you want to be a little bit more like this, then you are obviously welcome to the table. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.